Well, last night, everyone in the Pelicans, Jazz, and Lakers Clippers games knelt during the national anthem as a message against racial inequality. Charles Barkley weighed in, saying, quote, "I'm glad these guys are all unified, but if people don't kneel, they're not a bad person. I want to make that perfectly clear." Shannon, what do you think? Do you agree?
First of all, Skip, I thought it was great. Remember, we talked about it because in the bylaws of the NBA, you must stand for the national anthem.
Yep.
But Adam Silver made it abundantly clear this is a very unique situation here. The player, we're going to lax the rules. We're going to allow the players to take a kneel.
Yep.
Take a knee.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. Skip, ain't that wonderful? Instead of trying to suppress somebody that says, you will do this, we understand the situation.
I got the feeling he was slightly uncomfortable with relaxing the rule, but that's just me.
I don't think he was, Skip.
Okay.
But back to Charles Barkley. Skip, I agree with him. I agree that the guys that don't take a knee shouldn't be vilified. But where was Charles Barkley when Colin Kaepernick took a knee and was vilified and said, and he didn't say Colin Kaepernick shouldn't be vilified. He said, I wish Colin Kaepernick would find another way to get his point across.
Charles said that?
That's what Charles said.
Okay.
Now, hold on, let me make sure. Let me see where he urged players to use he urged players to use their platform and powerful for meaning change than just taking a knee. He says he was sick of hearing about the protest. Skip,
Okay.
I've always felt this. Just like Colin Kaepernick shouldn't have been vilified, nor should the players that don't kneel should be vilified. That's the way it works. But I want you to call out when President Trump called them SOBs for kneeling, I want Charles Barkley to get on his platform and say President Trump was wrong. He shouldn't vilify these guys. When Mike Dicker says that when all these other people say, if you take a knee during the anthem, you should leave the country, I want Charles Barkley to use this platform and say, guys, stop vilifying these guys. See, Charles is trying to...
That is a fair point.
Charles is trying to play both sides of the fence here. I know what you're doing, Charles. I get it. I'm from rural South Georgia, just like Charles from rural Alabama. I mean, is there any other suburb of any big city in Alabama?
No.
Alabama. But Skip, when you think about the term, they call people a Bama. When they call you a Bama, that's not a good thing. It's not you from the big city. But back to my original point, Skip. I agree. A player that doesn't kneel should not be vilified because if that's not what's in your heart, don't do it. Don't do it because, Skip, you'll get exposed. But if that's what you want to do to bring attention, whatever it is, Skip, and we're going to talk about the names of the names on the back of the jerseys.
Yep.
But my only thing to Charles, I need you to call it right down the middle. If you say don't vilify the guys for not kneeling, don't vilify the guys for kneeling. If you call out guys, call out guys. That's my only point. I agree. If you kneel, I'm all for that. If you don't kneel, that's what you're going to have to take up with the guys in your locker room. Because the guys in the locker room, the majority of them are black. And it says, okay, you're not kneeling, you're not with it, okay, fine. But what you going to do to make sure these minorities' voices get heard? What are you going to do? Are you just standing because you're, why? I just need to know something. Because for me, Skip, if somebody is hurting, and if I can do something, I'm going to do it. Because we family, right? Because everybody keeps saying, oh, we team, we family, that's my brother. I would do anything for my brother, except when I actually need you to do something for my brother. Nah, that's not it.
Boy, this is a tough one for me. And I appreciate everything you just said. And part of what Charles said last night, I appreciated. But you threw at him the other side of the coin.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you got to play both ways.
Right.
Appreciate that. This gets to be a slippery slope because you said from day one, we're going to start counting. We're going to start taking names. Oh, you didn't.
Right.
Oh, what about you?
Right.
And you're going to get sort of called on the media carpet for it. What happened? What are you thinking? And then you're going to get called on the carpet inside your clubhouse or your locker room.
Correct.
What are you thinking?
Right.
Behind closed doors. Help us out here. We just need to know where your head is on
Correct.
this. Where's your heart on all this? Just me personally, I'm with you. I'm not going to condemn anybody who doesn't kneel.
No.
I'm not going to vilify anyone who does not kneel. But this is just me, and maybe I'm not objective about this, so disqualify me if you will. But I am going to roll my eyes at those who don't kneel, because I don't think there's any great reason not to kneel right now. That's just me from my heart of hearts.
Right.
But I believe in the plight and the cause of your community. And I have from the start, and I get emotional about it, but obviously this is a time, a crucial time in sort of the evolution and development of this country when we need to unite to end racism. It's just as simple as that.
Right.
And we especially need to dedicate ourselves as white people to stopping the murdering of unarmed black men and women by white cops. That's number one on my list. And that requires dedication from everyone. So look, I believe in God. I believe in this country. But if I had a chance during the anthem, I would definitely kneel.
Right.
And it's about liberty and justice for all. And right now, that's not operating in our country. So forgive me, but when somebody says for religious, the reliever for the
baseball player,
for the Giants, he says, I don't kneel for anyone but God. I'll kneel before God. Okay, I appreciate that.
But Skip, they weren't even kneeling for the anthem.
They weren't.
It was before the anthem.
I know.
So he couldn't even show solidarity for that. And Skip, not to cut you off, but the problem I have when people use religion is that they use religion to keep blacks and whites separated. They said God said blacks and whites shouldn't be together. They shouldn't go to class. They shouldn't drink at the same water fountain. They shouldn't go to the restaurant together. They use that. They use the Bible for slavery.
All right.
And so that's the problem.
I got it. This reliever, I don't want to speak his name, but if he had left it at that, I'd say, okay, I get it.
Right.
I believe in God too,
Right.
but I'm kneeling for this because this is a cause. And let me just say this, if I might, Jesus would have kneeled for Black Lives Matter. Jesus would have been out there with the protesters. Jesus would have staged sit-ins with the protesters for this cause.
The difference between you, Skip, when you say you would have knelt, you are a Christian, you believe in the Bible, but you don't cherry pick parts of the Bible.
No,
See, a lot of people cherry pick. They say, well, God said this, but he also said, well, God didn't say Adam and Steve. Well, you're using the Bible to discriminate against people. You use, and see, that's the problem that I have, Skip, is that they use the Bible. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not bear false witness.
Fair. That's why I don't even like the label anymore of Christian, because there are those who give Christianity a bad name.
Yeah.
I got it. This said reliever for the San Francisco Giants went on when he was asked about what are your issues, and he said, well, they lean toward, Black Lives Matter, lean toward Marxism. And then he said that they express negativity about the nuclear family. Okay, now you've lost me completely. Now you have deeper issues than I kneel only before God, right? Okay, so that's my problem with this whole thing. It doesn't hurt just to kneel, at least through this crucial time. Just kneel. I don't care how religious you are or how patriotic you are.
Right.
This is an issue facing this nation that transcends all that. This is the ultimate act of patriotism. This is liberty and justice for all. That's why you should participate in this. That's why that was a beautiful ceremony last night.
Right.
That's why Adam Silver bent his rule, and I don't know how much longer will this sustain itself.
I believe it'll sustain itself at least through the bubble.
Okay, great with that, because I keep telling you, the white community needs to be constantly reminded, this is happening.
Right.
This is now. It needs to be burned in your consciousness. We've got to stop this. All this old mindset got grandfathered in.
Right.
We can take down the statues, but we got to take down the mindset.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
And let's keep moving forward by keeping pedal to the metal, right?
Right.
We got to keep pushing on this and keep reminding each other of what's happening right now and why it's happening right now. And it harks back to Colin Kaepernick, because I think 9/10 of the white community did not get Colin Kaepernick from the start.
Skip, I agree with you, but Charles did say something very interesting. I was listening to him last night, and he said about how the majority of the white people don't treat the minorities, that's not LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's not Kevin Durant. That's not Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes. They don't treat the all blacks the same. And he used the analogy, which is a great analogy, about do the right thing. And Pino, and he just N-word this, N-words that. And
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And Spike Lee asked, well, who's your favorite basketball player? Michael Jordan.
Who's your favorite entertainer? Michael Jackson.
Right. He said, but all your so-called favorite celebrities and entertainers are what the N-word. He said, but they're not black.
Okay.
And sometimes people yeah, he is.
And what did Malcolm X once say? All of the leaders, the black leaders that white people will buy into, they're always entertainers or comics.
Right.
And Malcolm X basically was saying, well, they shouldn't count.
Right.
Right.
Because I want Charles and a lot of guys do that. You have to see outside of yourself. Okay, they say, man, that's Charles Barkley. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Can I get an autograph? Let me buy you a drink. But Pookie down the street don't get that kind of love. And so that's what I need people to understand. Is that I get it, and Charles makes some compelling points, but I just want him to call it right down the middle. If you don't want people that don't kneel to be vilified, don't vilify the people that do take a knee. That's all I'm saying. If you call it right down the middle, I got no problem. But he's bringing something to attention. It's kind of like the Ted Cruz situation. Skip is like, I think I'll make sure I'm getting it right. Skip, he was like, we got to make sure Black Lives Matter don't turn into Black Lives. Something he said, but anyway, he was bringing a question that nobody had even asked.
Black lives are better.
Right. That's what he said. Right.
Yeah.
Nobody even asked that. Can we just before we go down that slippery slope, can we get to equal? And then if we get to equal, if we see it slipping the other way, we can pull back. But can we get there first before you even, I haven't even got a drink of water. You already told me that's enough. Well, damn, Skip, can I drink first before you told me I've had enough after I've been thirsty?